Good evening, everybody. It is April 28th, 2022. I'm phoning in the introduction tonight because, well, I'm not at my computer. I'm actually on an old phone, and I needed to have an introduction because I got rid of the music. So please enjoy the show. I should be home by the time this introduction is finished. Thank you very much.
Can
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, it's time for Ken Stout Live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into Thursday night, June 15th, halfway point of the month, to the Zoom homies with me, Ken Stout Live, or the Zoom homies with, I don't know, however that little thing goes. I'm still trying to get the clocks adjusted. They're still off for some reason, even though I practice this. What happened with the Tony thing? What do you mean, what happened with the Tony thing? I don't understand what you're saying, Bobby. Well, whoever's first gets the first one in a war. If it's Darren, it's Darren. If it's you, it's you. Whoever's first, it's not always going to be Tony, although he is generally the first one in. Usually, he was again tonight. I noticed when I got back, he had said something and retracted and said something else. Man, me and the clocks ain't getting along right now at all. He said something, retracted, and then he said, "Good evening, oh." And then yeah, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and bring the Zoom homies in while I try to get this silly clock adjusted. I'm still two names off and can't understand it. And let me know if you guys, let me know on YouTube if the Zoom homies are being heard. I think I have it set up correctly tonight.
You're cutting off a little bit on the bottom of the clock thing, but is that just those words about you can advertise here or something?
No, that's just me not getting it to adjust like I had it earlier today, and I don't know why it got out of adjustment, but I'll get it. Just
I
give
hear
me.
I hear it on YouTube. Even though Greg Guy can't hear me right now.
He's not in the room, so I don't think he can hear anybody. Okay, so now see it suddenly jumped back up.
Cut off some more names.
Yeah. Instead of doing.
Well, it is your computer, and when you get it set up, and then you go away for 5 minutes, the gremlins sneak in and readjust.
Yeah, it's those little Dougs. You gotta watch out for them.
Oh,
See,
well,
all of a sudden, it just jumped up all of that right there, and
I think I mentioned this last night.
Now,
I
do
come
you
in
run
here.
some of this stuff runs through OBS, right?
everything you see on the screen right now is running through OBS. The adjustment I'm making is actually on the clocks themselves,
Okay.
and I still got a little bit more to
I
go.
was just wondering, could there be some tiny little glitch in OBS about how it combines things on the screen, or?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
When I came in the first time, nobody had a background. It was all black.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. That was weird.
All right, that's about as close as I'm getting at tonight. I'm not going to mess with it no more.
I thought my machine was still messing with me. I don't know if I mentioned this last night or not, but Windows Defender sent me an email and told me that a particular feature was shut off.
Really?
I'm like, huh? And I investigated a little bit. It was actually a legit email. It was the real thing from Microsoft. And I thought to myself, like, okay, it's off. Well, shouldn't you just turn it on for me by yourself? Why are you sending me an email that something?
Well, they may not want to be accused of reaching into your system.
Yet they reached into the system to identify that the doggone thing was off.
Well, that's monitoring, but that's not changing something.
Well, that's true. That is very
true. Very true. I wasn't upset or nothing about it. I'm like, but I was thinking, I was like, so this is off. Couldn't you just turn it back on without sending me a freaking email? Aren't you supposed to be Windows Defender?
Now, Tim, if my computer starts changing itself, I'm blaming you because you made this suggestion and they're listening.
Yeah. I hope they hear everything I say.
No,
YouTube
does.
This stuff is scary. I'm hearing about these new chips. And I think it's false, but I'm hearing about it. These new chips are coming out with AI. I don't want it.
It's just supposedly 12th gen.
12th gen. Oh,
the 13th gen, I mean. To be the third, because 13th gen be 14th gen. Have to keep track of what gen we're at now.
Interesting.
Bobby says Norton gives me a pop-up if there's a virus. Yeah, well.
You got Norton?
Yeah, well, Norton will do all kinds of things.
Oh, man.
I got over Norton and McAfee security stuff a long time ago. That's just me, mind you.
If I see Norton or any of that crap, I don't install it immediately. Well, I asked the client if they want it uninstalled or not first.
I can remember, well, it's going way back. I had a Pentium 2 from Dell. It was running a Windows 98 SE, if you remember that thing.
Oh, my gosh.
From way back when, and I put McAfee on it, and it literally dragged the entire system to its knees.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no CPU left to do anything else except run McAfee.
Well, it's always scanning all the time, even Norton. Well, even with AVG free or the paid version, they'll suck.
I've had hold on a minute. I had McAfee too. When I removed it in Windows 98, it was back in the day.
Yep.
But I removed it and it removed some system file. The system would boot, but it would remove some system files. It would say something about system I. You have to press any key. You have to keep pressing any of the keys, and it finally would boot. So it was missing some files.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
And also, my dad had it on a laptop, like in 2017 or something, with Windows 7, and I don't know, a shop removed it, one of the computer shops, because he was living in a different town at that time, and they removed it, and it worked for a couple of months, but then it started wouldn't boot at all. So we found out it had to do with McAfee that
Back in
crashed
the
it.
I don't know. There a couple of the ISPs I've had in the past would offer you a free version of McAfee with your subscription to the ISP or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, if you don't keep up with it, the prescription expires, and the next thing you know, back in those days, you had a crap load of viruses on there. At least these days, we don't get that no more.
All right, I think I got everything all adjusted. I'm all caught up on chat. Bobby was asking the Tony thing he's referring to is the opening that has the Tony Wallace Studios, and right now I'm not running that. I'm using one that Brian Lightfoot created, and I'm going to eventually run it again. And I like this one right now. It works out pretty good. And then I'll get that one incorporated. If I add it to what currently is there, I'll have a 17-minute opening, and I don't want that. So I think the opening actually right now is a little over 3 minutes in length. So that's pretty good.
You want 2 to 3 minutes. You don't want a 17-minute opening. That would annoy everybody. Nobody wants to watch your channel.
Quite honestly, I'm impressed right now that the stream didn't kick over to end, because when I did an unlisted stream earlier today, that's what's got me frustrated about these clocks. And I had everything tuned in, dialed in, working really good. Computer goes to sleep, it wakes up, and everything's gone, basically. So, question for Tim. Are using a local account or a Microsoft account? That's from Ran Israel.
For me?
Chat. Yeah, it says question for Tim.
I'm doing both. I have like 4 computers. I have 2 with Microsoft. I have 2 with local accounts. And I do that for specific reasons. The computer that does not have my 365 account on it is connected to my 60-inch TV, and it's for streaming and entertainment purposes only. The other computer that's not a Microsoft account, I use it for cloning hard drives or computer repair. The other computer, I do have a 365 account on it, because that's how I create links and share my photos with people, like weddings or whatever I take, which can be a nightmare sometimes, but that's how I operate.
Bobby bought the mini PC today from Carrie. What am I saying? Carrie, of course, did a stream today, and apparently
I think Carrie shipped him one for free, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
He shipped 3 PCs to 3 veterans yesterday. Now I don't know what he did today. I briefly heard it because I got so busy. I had to cut it off.
I didn't even know he was on. Chris, did you watch Carrie today? Oh, you ordered it last week. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
He
good
ordered
luck.
it.
Hope it works out for you. Do
He
you
did
mind
ship
telling us
out-
why you? Bobby, do you mind telling us the specific reason you bought the little PC? I'm being attacked. Look, they're starting to take over already. This was wrapped around my chair, coming up my arm. It's begun. We don't have to wait on the AI any longer. That's from the fish cam. How it got wrapped around the chair, I'll never know.
I'm just scared. I'm just scared my AI's gonna book my damn housekeeper to come in here 3 times a week instead of once a week.
He said he bought it for streaming and to watch Disney. Okay.
Nice. That's all you need.
Yep.
That's what I do. That's what I do for my computers. That's why I don't have a Microsoft account on it.
Get with him in a couple of days and see how it's doing. See if it overheats like Sean's does. I don't recommend you trying to cook on it like Sean did. That doesn't go well. But let us know if it overheats or not. I'd be interested in knowing. Stealth mode. What kind did you get? What kind did you get of the mini PC? Yeah, that'd be another interesting thing to know. What kind did you get? I got a text I have to answer. I will put my avatar on because I think it's inappropriate to leave my camera on while I answer a text. I guess I'm going to my son's house at 7 in the morning. Had 6 or 7 messages waiting for me when I woke up from my nap. I do have a surprise for Saturday. I don't think it's going to come to the fruition certain people think that it will, but we will see. And I am back. Jeff was with us earlier briefly. Greg was with us earlier briefly. Robert was with us, and Darren Gilholm was with us, and got that thing tuned in pretty good. And then all of a sudden, it just decides not to work at all when I try to go live today. So, other than the fact that it did fine tune a couple of things, that was pretty much pointless. And I did do a little bit of Da Vinci because Greg said, I'm going to go mow the grass. I'm thinking he's going to be gone for a while. He's gone like 2 minutes.
I was gone about 8 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know. It was a little longer than what I said, but it just seemed like it was so quick because I'm guessing if I go cut my grass, it's 40, 45 minutes easily. So it's a B-Link Service Pro or SER Pro 5 or 5 Pro. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. This will be if the surprise goes well, it'll be a well-received surprise. I'm quite sure.
I'm really liking the Lovinos. The mini PCs we're incorporating into our shop as the older PCs die off. And you got to take in consideration that's a very harsh environment. One of the Lovino PCs, which is, I wish that girl was still my secretary, but she's not. But the thing's just covered in freaking aluminum dust, and it still works. I'm like, wow. I was like, clean it off. The dust is blocking the vents.
Clean it off.
I'm a bet, if you want a review on a PC, send me a PC to my machine shop. It's gonna get cluttered with amazing dust, aluminum especially.
Oh, carry up a desk at your machine shop. Let them do the demo of the mini PC.
I thought about that one time. I was like, hey, but he's not gonna do it. Me and Carrie do a remote session or whatever. This is what happens to PCs when they get screwed up in a machine shop. But anyway,
not a remote. Bring them physically there. Skim a table, and let them see what happens to the machines after a workshop environment gets to them. Manufacturing environment.
Well, I could do something even better than that, but Doug's never going to do it. Let's put the big beast build in the side of our shop and see what happens.
Yeah.
But that ain't going to happen either. So anyway, that's my answer to that question. But that's a good idea. It's a very good idea. I have seen machines in our shop completely covered, all the vents. They don't breathe, and I trip out on it. They never overheat. And you got to keep in consideration we're using swamp coolers. It's 110 sometimes during the summer, and these things just keep working. I got volunteered to blow all that crap out at one time. Well, I kind of gave up on it. Just screw it. You know, when it dies, it dies. I'm really amazed. But the little mini Lavino PCs, they're kind of taking over in our shop. Now, I don't know about the programmers in the programming room. That there's a little more beefed up, but they're using horrible products. And our previous IT guy was putting in all these custom builds and stuff and all these crazy graphic cards and stuff and using SolidWorks and Edge Cam. You don't need all that stuff with it. It works fine on a normal PC. Got me interested. Some modern stuff. And I listen to Kerry, well, blah, 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 blah. This is not a gaming PC. It's like, yeah, well, when you're using SolidWorks and using CAD software, that's almost like a gaming PC in a way. But they do work.
Yeah, I knew Carrie had a show because Doug's redirect. I made sure
I
left
tried to
before that
watch
thing
it.
kicked in.
I tried to watch it, but I got super busy. I had to cut it off. People were asking me all kinds of questions. Paperwork was all screwed up all day long at work. I'm like, oh my gosh, what a nightmare.
Isn't there one of
Yeah.
those?
When I get busy, phone is turned off. I'm done. But when I'm bored as hell, I really enjoyed watching Doug. I really enjoyed watching Ken's Da Vinci because I'm learning from that. Because sooner or later, I'm going to do that stuff when I get old enough or retired or
When I get
retarded,
old enough.
retired. I want to do the same thing.
William, you were going to make a comment?
Yeah, it's another one of those Chinese one that starts with a C. That one that he tried, it wouldn't work with the video capture cards.
Oh, the Chewy or whatever it was?
Yeah. This one, he took the 4 bolts and take it apart to show everybody what's in it.
Oh, yeah?
He got the bottom off, could never pull the insides out.
Oh, yeah. I got up to that part. I had to cut the video off because I got super busy at work answering everybody's problems. Yeah, he did do that today.
So he got the two pieces separated, but he couldn't get the inside to come out?
Right, he got the bottom off, but he couldn't figure out how to separate it.
Well,
Yeah, he couldn't even
separate it. Take a hammer to it. That'll separate it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, if I'm correct, a lot of people's like, where the hell's this? Did I hear that right, William? Where's the CMOS battery at? Did I hear that correct?
Probably somewhere on the other side of the motherboard.
But he couldn't figure out how to open it up. And at that point, I got super busy. I was like, boom, I shut the damn stream off. I was done. My job's more important than this stream.
Yeah, I would think so. Gotta have your priorities.
It was kind of funny though. Where's the CMOS battery?
When you're watching Ken Stout live or Ken Stout Da Vinci, if someone comes up to you, you need to tell them you're just gonna have to wait. I'm watching Da Vinci. Whatever it is, it'll wait.
Well, in the mornings I'm kind of bored. It makes my day go by fast. I love watching Doug and you. And I'm taking notes on your Da Vinci stuff, believe it or not. One of these days, and I told you also, I was like, what do I want to get my logo in my videos. We still haven't connected on that neither. But anyway, who cares? It makes my day go by.
logo on your logo on your video?
Yeah,
Just
I want
one
my
video or all videos?
all videos.
Well, without giving it much thought, I would say you're going to have to bring it into a video editor and put it in that way.
Yeah, there's a way to do it, but I'm not in no hurry. I don't really care, but everybody knows who took it, the video. But it'd be nice to have that logo on there.
I'll look into that. I would think that would
Uh,
be the way to do it. I don't know. I don't know. You would have liked today's Da Vinci because after probably 45 minutes of doing something, I made a mistake and it actually worked and was better than the last 45 minutes I had spent making things work. So I did save it, and I will probably do a Da Vinci on it one of these days, but I don't know when.
No, thank you.
I'll be sure to send you a message on your phone, Greg, to let you know when that will be.
I'll be taking a nap.
Yeah, I
I
took
used
one
to
today.
do
Boy, it
a,
was nice.
I used to do a lot of video stuff back in the day, but the technology's changed a lot in the last 10 years.
Oh yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of cool. Doug even approached me, or Doug, was it Doug or another pilot? Well, the inletters or their iPhone or something record the video backwards. It was mirrored. They're like, hey, can you change this and make it the right way? And I did.
Do you use VLC
I
or
don't,
something else?
I don't even remember what I used back then, to be honest with you, but I made that correction.
We all know I shot an entire golf video once upside down. That's only I could do.
We've done some crazy stuff. I got 24 videos right now. I got to comb through. I didn't even look at from Tuesday night.
One point of clarification, Ken. Were you, or was the camera upside down?
Camera was, well, I don't know. Now that you mention that.
No, I'm
Hey.
just being a smart.
Now you got me wondering if my camera's upside down or not.
As long as you don't, once you start shooting a video, as long as you don't change it, you're fine. I did find that out the hard way. It was cool though. Watching the whole entire.
There's a way
18
to
holes
reverse it, isn't there, or flip it over?
VLC, you can flip
one
it.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or if
there
you because when you flip the phone, it looks right on the phone, but it's actually shooting it upside down or mirrored or however you want to call that. And then when you watch it, it's like, oh, it is pretty cool to watch. I have both versions actually, and it's really interesting to watch golf upside down. I can imagine if I could tap into that drug crowd, the people that do LSD and show it, man, I'll be having some fun with that. Rick Lakes, hello to Rick and to everyone. I won't be here tonight. Have issues with the food. All right, well, I hope things go well
Alex
for you.
in Fresno.
There you go. Tim is upside down now.
Can you fix my video, Ken?
I can. Hold on, Tim. Let me take care of that for you. I will fix that right away. That problem's fixed. We'll test his sense of humor a little bit. See, even Sam got that. Let's see. Now, if he comes back in normal, which I think he was already normal. Why is it taking so long to admit him? There he is.
I don't know if you can.
Yeah, see, just like that, your problem is fixed. Yep, you're welcome.
Thanks for putting me in the waiting room for the first time.
You said, could I fix your problem? And I happen to know that if you're upside down and you go in the waiting room, you'll come back in right side up. Chris Garrett said, I thought you wanted a big beast build at Bobby Warren. Yeah, we all want a big beast build, but can we all afford a big beast build? And then again, I don't know that we all want a big beast build because it seems it does have a few issues every once in a great while.
I would be happy with half that build. Actually, I would like to have Doug's old computer, but he's not going to part with that because he's got his former airplane etched into it on the glass. Well, it's not glass. I don't know if it's glass or plastic. It's pretty cool.
I need to get a system and I'm hoping the one Sean built for me will solve this problem. I locked DaVinci up again today completely. Could not do anything in it. I had to go into Task Manager to shut it down. That's 2 times on what I'm trying to do that I've done that. Everything
Really?
else was, yeah, it happened yesterday, it happened today. I don't get it. We checked the Task Manager, and I was using 6.6% of the onboard 8 graphics. I was using like 0.00000 something of the shared. So that wasn't the issue. I have no idea what the issue was. But 2 days in a row now, I've actually locked up DaVinci Resolve. Don't know. Chris Garrett says, I don't care about the big beast. I just want the $8 million. I believe the Google lawsuit, 63 million is what they're anticipating. But then when you divide that by all the thousands and millions of people that have used Google, you're going to get, they estimated $7.70. As are most civil suits like that. Well, I can't think of what they're called. Somebody help me out here.
Holy crap, it's hot.
If I
It's
sue
not
an
for-
individual, that's not the same as when a bunch of people get together and
Class
sue.
action.
Class action.
Class action, yes, thank you. Yeah.
Class
Thank you,
action
Rand. Thank you,
lawsuit.
Wintermute. Thank you, William. Thank you,
Mhm.
Tim. Yeah, class action. So I generally don't get involved with class actions, as in I don't get involved with them. Every once in a while, we'll get a check in the mail that said, you were part of a class action shoot. I guess something we didn't have to agree to. And it'll be a check for 24 cents or $2 and a nickel. And, rip, right. I just throw it away.
That's like us supposed
Well,
to get money back in the state of Florida, and 15 years later, I'm still waiting for it.
Oh, don't say that, because we're still waiting on our state income tax from Indiana, and tomorrow will be 3 months, and this is just ridiculous.
I got involved in a class action lawsuit. I don't know if you guys want to hear this long story or not.
Give us the nickel version.
I don't know if I can do that or not. Anyway, I bought a brand new Ford Ranger.
Hmm.
Only had it 4 months
Hmm.
on the way to work. Really nice truck. I spent like $250 to have buckskin seat covers put in it on the bucket seats. On the way to work, this kid was in a rush, and I was working overtime. It was a Saturday morning out there in Statesboro, Georgia. He decided to come in my lane.
Oh, I
I
thought
tried.
you bought.
I
Come
tried
on.
to. I tried to avoid him. I hit a culvert. I took out the right side tire. I hit a stop sign. No, I didn't hit a stop sign. I hit a sign that was warning drivers of a curve up ahead, 25 miles an hour only. That came through my windshield and hit me dead in my face. As I was going down that embankment, I hit a culvert. It ripped that whole right side tire off. And when I tried to correct everything, I got back on the pavement, not realizing there was only 3 tires underneath me. It darted me all the way across the highway, and I hit a sycamore tree head on. My rear axle was underneath my seat, and I had full coverage insurance on that truck through Liberty Mutual. And every time I see that on the freaking TV, it drives me up the wall. And come to find out, there was a class action lawsuit against those guys for not paying up. I got involved in it. Well, they settled out of court. I had like $5,000 worth of plastic surgery done to my face. That hole that went through my window really screwed me up. Luckily, my stepmother's friend was behind me when it happened, which was the sheriff deputy's wife, and Statesboro at the time. I think his name was John Anderson, the head sheriff. She's like, "You okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." You know, I only live down the street. I'll just walk back home. I'll go get my 77 Malibu and drive to work. And when I turned around, she said, "Ooh, you need help bad." Well, they took me to the hospital and sedated me, and they did all that stuff. But that was the only time I got involved in a class action lawsuit, and they didn't want me to pursue it, so they settled out of court. So the truck got paid off 2 years early. All my medical bills got paid off, and I got $2,000 put in my pocket.
Nice.
Yeah. And if you knew me or looked at me, you would have never known my whole face was ripped off all the way down to my jawbone.
Uh-oh. Bobby Warren wants to know how to get out of Windows S mode. I got to figure out what this Windows S mode that seems to be a thing in the last couple of days.
What the heck? Somebody was talking about that on Carrie's channel today.
And Doug's.
Windows S mode means you can only get software through the Microsoft Store.
Oh.
And the other thing, and didn't we go through this with one of Josh's computers way back?
Yes.
Yeah. And you go in the BIOS and turn it off.
Okay, but computers that are made and sold and run in S mode, you cannot get driver updates and such from the vendor ever.
What?
They set it up so that you have to, my understanding is, and we talked about this once way back when, you get all of your updates through the Windows Store, period. If you go to like HP's website where they sell stuff for computers in S mode, you will not find anything for those computers on their website, at least in some instances.
Even if you disable it?
Yep. Because they just don't offer the stuff. It's made for people who want to just go through the Windows Store. I spent twice. I've talked to folks when I was in Costco who were coming around. I was browsing through the computer stuff. Once this guy and his wife were there and they were looking at this, and I said, "Hey, you see this thing only works in S mode, don't you?" He said, "Well, what's that?" And I gave him the nickel tour in 15 seconds about it. They decided they didn't want to be locked into that sort of thing. I haven't looked at every computer with S mode, so I can't say that Dell and HP and Lenovo and everybody who makes computers don't provide anything for some of those models. But one or two of them I've seen, you could go to the HP website and you couldn't find any drivers.
I know Doug has talked about it. Carrie talked about it today. I have not come across any computer repair that has S mode on it. And my other thing is, why in the hell would you download anything from Microsoft Store? That's just stupid in my eyes. I might be wrong.
Well, this is for people who just want to do limited stuff and they want to be, quote, absolutely sure that nothing nasty can sneak into their computer through the software and yada yada, all of that stuff.
Also,
security thing.
The only thing
some school systems use it for the students.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Well,
the only thing I've downloaded from Microsoft Store, because I have an Android app called My Radar. Mm-hmm. They have My Radar in the Microsoft Store, which is a pretty cool app. I like it. I could see all the forest fires. I could see the hurricanes and this, that, and the other. But anyway, long story short, other than that.
Now, let me ask a dumb question here. Somebody more knowledgeable than I am about this stuff. I sort of thought when you had a computer with S mode that you had to run it with a Microsoft account.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. I'm not sure. But people are talking in the chat.
Oh, well, this one particular PC, I cannot download anything from the Microsoft Store without a 365 account.
Hmm.
So does that answer your question? Yeah, you gotta have an account.
Because Bobby's here saying that he was running a Windows S computer with a local account.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm looking at the
possible. I
chat.
don't know. I'm just curious.
I'm curious too. Well, let me see if I can download something on a non-Microsoft account. I have a 365 account. Let me check that out.
Again, I have no idea. I'm just messing around. I added in another camera source, which is this one right here, which is in the lower left-hand corner of the YouTube stream. And if I change how what it's pointing at, now it's pointing straight at the TV. But I'm not going to change the height because I've got this set for the fish tank. I'm just messing around. I wanted to see, can I get it to have a applicable use or not. Seems to be all
Well,
right.
looking at the
Support.
link that Sam put in about S mode, that's another thing I had forgotten.
Yeah, I'm looking
Once
at
you
that
switch out of
now.
S mode, you can't go back. It's
Oh,
one way.
interesting.
But I thought when Josh did his, didn't his somehow miraculously end up going back or something? Or did I misunderstand? No? Okay.
No, you
No.
can't
Okay.
go back.
What if it's a HP like a HP and it comes with S mode and you run the HP recovery, won't it go back to S mode?
It probably will, but I don't know that.
I
for a
don't know.
fact.
I don't know. I think they
Unless it updates the partition to
marked the drive or something someplace,
Mm-hmm.
hidden area to tell you can't.
Yeah, it's digitally signed somehow. I might be wrong.
I mean, I'm just going by what this thing here that Sam pointed us to.
But
I remember hearing that before.
I don't know anything about S mode. And I think Doug kind of covered a lot of that stuff today, didn't he?
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't want to buy anything that has the S mode.
Personally, I would.
But you gotta go into BIOS and disable it. From what Doug said today, that was my understanding.
Well, there's a switch in Windows. You can just shut it off if you want to.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that neither. But then again, I'm at work. I don't some stuff I don't pay attention to. Some
Well,
stuff my ears
I
poke
heard
up
that
at.
thing about going in the BIOS and what you shut off Secure Boot, didn't he say?
I don't know.
Yes,
I
that's
mean,
what he said.
Yeah.
Ren Israel saying
I'd
if you
not heard
create
that.
a backup image before messing with it, you could
oh yeah,
restore it.
definitely.
I would think that might work.
Well, I
So
want to
one thing
backup
I've not
image.
ever done is restore. I do backups, but I've never tried to do one, change something, and then restore it because I'm just afraid it won't work. And
Well,
if it ain't broke,
there are
don't fix it.
places in your hardware that you can mark stuff that you can't get to with normal tools.
Well,
Well,
truth be known with me, I can't get to the things everyone else can get to on Windows. So that's not that far fetched.
if you don't know what you're doing, back it up, and then fool with it. And if you don't like it, you got that backup. It's just like the day at work. And it's like a particular computer in the scheduling room where we schedule stuff. We got 3 screens. Where's the damn mouse at? And I looked at Travis and said, "Hey, Travis, I'm changing this mouse to color blue, and I'm gonna make it a little bigger." He said,
Hey
"Huh?"
Josh,
And he liked it. Hey, Josh.
By changing the color, you change the color of the mouse on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm moving the mouse around. I'm like, where the hell's my Excel spreadsheet? Where's this at? Where's that at? I can't find the freaking mouse because it's white. Everything on the screen is white. Oh, duh. And all day long, everybody's like, wow, we can see the mouse again. Well, they didn't say again, but they can actually find stuff. That's all I did was change the color of the mouse to blue. And they're
Long
loving
Dog
it.
is saying he's done this before, and he said do a clean install, but even then he doubts it'll go back to the S mode. Something
That
wrong
sucks.
Hold
with
on.
Microsoft during the installation. When you're asked to sign up for Microsoft account, there's a choice: create a new account if it doesn't work.
Now I'm confused. Where the hell does this Microsoft S mode come from?
Okay, so when you boot to a Microsoft US, when you create the Windows 10, and
Uh-huh.
you have to modify it to get be able to select all the version, any version you want, whatever version you need.
Uh-huh.
You have to do something. I can't say I know how to do it, but I can't say it. I can't get it out. But so it comes to that screen where you select the version. There's all kind of versions like education, all kind of stuff. I'm not sure if S mode is one of those versions or not. I can't remember.
I can't
I
either.
never even heard of S mode until this week.
S mode comes installed on the computers. It's not something you can set up yourself when you install Windows. To the best of my knowledge.
It's
So
my
it won't be on that
understanding.
deal. Okay.
Now,
And
is
it's
this
made
right?
for folks that don't want to do anything except set up a computer and run it with what God and acting through Microsoft gives to you.
Okay.
So in case anyone's wondering if I've lost my ever-loving mind, I have not. I noticed on the fish cam there's a silhouette where chat's supposed to be, but no matter what I do as far as movement goes, that silhouette's, there's probably a ghost standing behind me. Who knows?
I thought
You know what the S stands for?
Stupid?
Shit.
No, it's a 4-letter word.
I just said it.
That's interesting. I don't know what that is.
I'll say another 4-letter word. Crap.
I think it's just the
Change this
lights, the way the
around
lights
this
are
way.
reflecting.
Yeah, it's yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to figure it out.
Who the hell started S mode? That's stupid.
It's a Microsoft thing.
Yeah.
I hate it too. You might be
But even without S mode, you run into interesting things sometimes.
Does it actually
Yep.
stand for student mode?
I have
Well, you know, if S stood for student mode for kids only, and F stood for adults only, come on, let's make it happen. Quit screwing with our systems.
Yeah, there probably had to be some reason for them to create it, or
Windows
it wouldn't have been created.
looks at stuff sometimes. I have an app that I bought and paid for. It has a little graphical interface and runs a compiler I use. And it's available. You download it from the company's website, or it's available through the Windows Store now as well. And now, whenever I download the latest update of it, which I get free, and try to install it, because I haven't gotten it through the Microsoft Store, it fusses at me, and I have to go through 1 or 2 extra steps to get it to install.
Okay. I found this Windows 10 and 11 S mode FAQ, and you cannot switch back.
Not unless you can figure a way to fool it. I'm just thinking about some of the things they were talking about, like if you made an image of your system before you did anything else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Could you put it back that way? And I don't know the answer. There are ways to foil stuff like that too.
I believe they hide in one of the hidden partitions, they hide a key code that
probably
deactivates or deactivates.
Well, the question is, if you make a backup, an image backup of the whole drive, not just your Windows partitions and whatever, are you getting enough of the whole drive to retain that key code?
You can hide it. You can hide certain partitions that you can't copy.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
The computer doesn't know they're there.
unless you got backup software that knows how to copy those hidden partitions.
Right.
So I don't know. Guess I don't care. I wouldn't buy one that had S mode on it knowingly. Or if I bought one and got it home and hadn't initialized it yet, I would take it back.
Yeah, I think so too.
Camera system. If you had a dying hard drive, you went to buy a new hard drive, you cannot buy it. You have to buy it from the company.
Yep.
So it actually stands for Streamlined for Security and Performance.
Yep.
It stands for streamline, I guess.
But for example, I read one example, one of these things. For example, suppose you like to use the Chrome browser. You can't install it because Chrome's not available through the Microsoft Store.
Well, that's not good.
So, I mean, it really does tie you down just to what Microsoft in its wisdom thinks you ought to have.
That's why the schools liked it, because they could keep the kids from installing video games onto the machines they send home.
Yep.
Bobby's saying I will buy a key code. I'm not sure what he's referring to. Wintermute says S is for security. You can't run any programs. You are technically more secure.
Right.
Okay.
You can't bring in programs from outside of the Microsoft ecosystem. Then the only way to get something bad on your system through a program would be if somebody got it into the Microsoft Store.
Somehow, yeah.
And that is not necessarily impossible to do. What company was it that actually somebody hacked the BIOS on their computers?
Apple.
Everything has to come from the Microsoft Store.
And the only thing I really like about here's my take on Microsoft Store. There are some apps that Samsung Androids use, and there's some apps that Apple use. Very few in between. They're on that store. Other than that, I have no use for it. It's a pile of crap in my eyes.
I downloaded a couple of themes from the Microsoft Store that I liked. There was one that showed the Earth from space at night and that sort of thing. I mean, your screensavers and wallpaper and all that stuff. They got some interesting themes like that in the Microsoft Store. I haven't examined all the other stuff.
Yeah, well, they start that with Windows 10, and I just, I kind of ignore stuff like that until it really gets popular. Then I'll go look at it. But right now, it's a pile of crap in my eyes.
Now, you guys have heard of this sysinternals stuff?
Oh, yeah.
And Microsoft bought all of that from the guy who developed it. He actually is a high-level Microsoft developer now. I think sysinternals is available through the Microsoft Store, for example.
Another thing for them to mess up.
Yeah.
I think he still develops it for Microsoft.
So I'm confused here. Bobby bought a new computer. Did that come with Windows 10 and or 11 already pre-installed, or did he have to install it?
You would think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and then he's saying he has to buy a product key. If it's pre-installed, you don't need a product key, I don't think.
Well, I was in one of his earlier things something about upgrading it to Pro.
Well, yeah, if you do that, you do, but sure. But
there's also one that Doug did. You had to put your own memory, for your own storage, and your own operating system on.
Oh,
like what Alex did. He bought a bare bones nuke, and then he put in his memory and his hard drive.
Let me ask somebody else on here knowledgeable about something I think I heard on Doug's this morning. He was talking about going into the BIOS and somehow sort of partitioning the memory to give the onboard graphics a certain amount of memory to share. I've never seen a computer where you had to do that. Most of them just shared it automatically, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does, but maybe with Alice's computer, it was defaulted to be off.
Come on, man.
We don't know that.
Okay. I wasn't quite following it. Now, most of the pre-builts I've seen, you don't have that kind of control over stuff. I mean, if you look in a Dell or an HP BIOS of the stuff that you can do on one you just go and buy, you don't have
True.
a hell of a lot of control over stuff.
Well,
Hey,
you gotta keep in mind this particular person didn't know that was enabled or disabled, so we
hey,
don't know.
Well, what I'm saying is I've never seen on any of these pre-builts anything that enable or disable something like that at all.
Yeah.
hey,
That doesn't mean
Jill.
it's not there because I haven't seen nearly as many computers as Doug or Kerry or some of you guys have, obviously. But
Hey, Jill. My new Dell Latitude has a better BIOS than the best one I've ever seen Dell do.
well, it's got a lot of options you can set.
Yeah, I'll show it one night. I'll hook it up to the
Okay.
card and show
Brand
it.
Israel saying you can decrease the amount of memory allocated to the
Yes,
onboard GPU.
yes.
Right.
If you know how to get to it in the BIOS.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
It's curious. I just never had seen that in the pre-built, and of course, I haven't owned that many computers where I look for that.
Now there was something that came out with Windows 7 or 8 or I can't remember which one of those operating systems it was, but you could plug a USB drive in and say, "Hey, I want to use this as extra RAM."
It's curious. I mean,
Well,
Yeah, I
I
remember
tried
that.
that.
Really,
I
Boost.
tried
It
that.
don't really do nothing. You can't really tell much about it.
I tried that, and that was a piece of crap. That was a fake thing that they started. But anyway,
well, I'm
That
just
was the
wondering. I mean,
same.
like I've got this gigabyte motherboard in my new build, and it's got settings for every frickin' thing. There's probably one hidden in there someplace. It'll help me go to the bathroom, but I don't know where it is.
Him,
But
that's
I
the
haven't
main.
man,
ever seen in there
if you got that
anything
app,
about memory allocation for the onboard graphics.
Him,
if you
that's
got
about
that,
like that. When they come out with a regular hard drive, so they had the SSD as a cache drive.
Well, there were those combo drives. You remember where they had a
Octane.
little bit of solid state memory to act as a cache?
Yeah, it was
yeah,
Octane. I don't know what AMD called
Oh.
it, but it was Intel Octane.
DaVinci Resolve Studio 18.5 Beta 4 version is available.
oh no, another update that's just gonna crash and put freaking 5 mini dugs into your system.
Beta version, goodness,
Beta,
alpha's supposed to be
skip
higher than
that.
beta in the pecking order. I think you should ask them for an alpha version.
But when the Octane came out, there were very few motherboards that supported the Octane option.
Yeah,
True,
I've heard of the
true.
Octane, and I never quite understood what that was. Is it just some?
Ready Boost. That's what. Thank you, Long Dog. That was called
Yeah,
Ready
it
Boost.
was a
Yeah.
Ready Boost flash drive.
Literally, it took files that you were using, stored them at shutdown to that drive, and booted them first before you didn't have to come off the main hard drive.
Now,
But
Ready Boost,
once you
wasn't that where
plug
you?
that hard drive in, you cannot unplug it. And it was a pile of crap. It did not work. It
Was
worked temporarily for maybe a day. The next day, it didn't work.
Wasn't Ready Boost where you actually had to have a separate physical small solid state drive?
Mm-hmm.
No,
No, you use flash drive.
Well, no. I
flash
mean, but I
drive.
mean, it was a separate drive. It wasn't solid state memory on the main hard drive like some of those
Right.
hybrids. I remember
True.
being asked one time when I plugged in a large flash drive if it wanted me to use that for Ready Boost or something.
Oh, give me a
Let's see.
break. I got a 3 terabyte flash drive. That's
Damn.
waterproof. I plug it in. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you're gonna give me 3 terabytes of RAM? No, it don't work that way.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Wonder with 3 terabytes of RAM if I could crash DaVinci or not.
What a joke that was. Well, I dialed it down. I did plug in an 8 gig, but Ready Boost was crap. They did have it back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, it did. If you had 3 terabytes, if you had 3 terabytes in your system, it would stick it on it, holding it for you to next time you power it back on. That's all it did.
Yeah, Ready Boost was a pile of crap, but we all know that. We've lived past it.
Yeah, we're getting ready to jump to Windows something, 12 maybe. I don't know.
There's rumors of Windows 12 coming out in 2024 before you have to go to 11, but that remains to be seen. It's just rumor at this point.
Right.
There's rumors of 13, 14, 15, 16, whatever number you want.
Well, full disclosure, I'm probably one of the few people that are running Windows 18. So far, it's been working just fine. Stealth Mode says, wow, over 1 hour and still going. Well, I'm watching the macro, and it usually goes a little over an hour, even though it's marked for 60 minutes. But you are right, I am over an hour. Let me go check something out over here. I want to give the macro a chance to do its thing before I figure out what I need to do. There it goes. See, I told you. You just gotta have faith in these things, Stealth Mode. You just gotta believe in them. There goes the scroll by. Now here, this was something I changed earlier. This probably won't work the way it's supposed to because I changed it. I need to learn that once I get something working, to leave it well enough alone and don't go, oh, I can make that better. It never works out that it's better. And I am following along with the macro right now. And I timed everything out. And hopefully I got everything the way it's supposed to be. So it's changed already on OBS. There's a delay. There it goes. Yeah, that's while it's doing an update, it won't affect anything adversely whatsoever. All right, everybody. Good night on YouTube. Stealth Mode does nice and smooth. Thank you. Thank you, Rand. Try to get some rest. One Fish says good night. That should do it. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Long Dog. Thank you, Wintermute, Bobby Warren, Chris Garrett, Matthew Camp. Good to see Matthew. Good to see he's starting to be back regular now. That's cool. I think I got everybody. Rick Lake said he wouldn't be here. If I left anybody out, I'm sorry. Roy Carroll, I didn't see Roy. But apparently he said something about 5 minutes after the stream started. And that'll be it. So I'm going to go ahead and push said button. Not on the stream deck, but I do want to run something by Sam via Jeff here in a minute.